So I've just gotten out of a bad situationship, and I didn't know how bad it was until I left. Like I'm so glad that my spirit team was pushing me to leave. Like they were pushing me. And because I would have stayed in, I wouldn't have known how bad it had gotten. The only reason why I knew how bad it had gotten when I left is because I had lost my sense of self. Like I was hyper critical, overly critical of myself. I just didn't feel secure in who I was. I was second guess myself, almost like to the point of like OCD a little bit. And I had to just step aside and be like, what the fuck is going on? And that's when I really had to sit down with myself. Like, in spite of all the emotion and all the pain I was feeling, I had to sit with myself and really purge and really get back to who I was. And so with that, one of the first things I had to do was process my emotions, and then uh, just forgive the person who hurt me. You know what I'm saying? And and this is not no like benevolent type of forgiveness. Like I was hurt, and at first I was okay about it, but then all those feelings and emotions and feelings of being unworthy and not good enough and all those things from the past came up. So this is not like, oh, you should forgive the person because da da this da da da. No, this is to forgive this person for you, for your sake. And yes, I'm a person who believes in unconditional love, but I believe love doesn't mean that you have to be around people or you have to entertain. You don't have to sacrifice your own well-being to be around certain people, even if you love them, even if you know in your heart that you, I don't know, something about love is that it's not, for me, it's unconditional, right? So that person, even if they hurt me, I know that they were in my life for a reason, and I can recall all the bad shit that happened, but I can also recall all the good shit that happened. And I appreciate both. No matter how bad the situation was, it's me, and I appreciate both. But I have some steps to help, get through that just that feeling of what forgiveness really is, and how to get past it, and how to actually forgive and not just push it to the back of your mind and say, oh, this person is okay and da da da. Like, no, this is like forgiving so that your well-being is good, that you're good, and that you're stable within yourself emotionally, and I feel like in society we're in a definitely a patriarchal society, and so with that, it's definitely like masculine, very not divine masculine energy, but very like toxic masculine energy, right? So we're not taught to validate our own feelings or even give it that much thought, but it's important. If you know how to heal, you know that it's important to self-soothe. You know that it's important to validate and feel your feelings so that you can get past them. So not just pushing them to the back of your mind, but you're feeling it and letting them come up so that you can get past that shit, So I wrote out, there's like 6 steps to healing, to forgiving your enemies. All right. So, number 1 is to purge and seek help. So, seek help for the trauma that you endured through therapy, the internet, family, and friends. So, first thing you have to do is take time. Give yourself that time to process, right? What the fuck just happened? Because you can be in a whirlwind, even if the situation didn't end on a totally bad note. Shit can come up later. Shit that you didn't realize was affecting you can come up later, and it can affect you even more than when you were in the situation. So get help immediately. You know what I'm saying? Don't, because shit is gonna come up and you're gonna feel helpless, and you might not feel it at the moment because you're like, no, I'm not gonna feel that way. I'm really have control over myself. Like, no, when you're in it, you're in it. So let somebody know, somebody close to you, or maybe not. Get help off the internet. Keep looking for stuff to make yourself understand what's happening to you. You know what I'm saying? So you're not so afraid, so fearful of your own emotions and your own feelings, you know? Because it can be overwhelming. It is overwhelming most of the time when you're getting out of these situations. So that's the first step. Seek help. Number 2, self-care. So exercise, eat healthy, keep up with your personal hygiene, get enough rest, laugh, right? So find some comedy to laugh. Take time alone, and journal. So these things, I would even say touch yourself, masturbate, like really, really care for yourself as if you are your own best friend or you are your partner, right? So with a partner, you're going to love that partner in a way that's intimate, in a way that's close, in a way that's going to make them feel good. And that's what you need to do for you, is make yourself feel good. Because in those times, your mind is so caught up in trying to process what happened that you forget to do things for yourself. I know for me, I was not forgetting, but I was just having a hard time taking care of myself. And y'all don't judge me, but this was what the hard thing was. Like, I was having a hard time getting up to brush my teeth. Like, I would shower and stuff, but brushing my teeth, I don't know what the fuck that was. Like, but I would just have to push myself to do it, and it was kind of gross to me, but it's not gross. It's really, I don't know what causes you to neglect yourself, but it's hard when you're sad and you're feeling down on yourself to take care of yourself. And a lot of people who don't suffer with depression, who don't suffer with certain things, don't understand what that feels like. Don't understand not having a motivation to do the necessary basic things. So really focus on that and take time for yourself. If you get out of a toxic relationship, you might want to jump into another relationship, but don't. Because you want to feel better. You want somebody to hold you and caress you, and you want to feel nurtured, and you want to feel pleasure because you just felt all that hurt. But don't do that to yourself, because you haven't jumped out of the patterns that got you into that situation in the first place. So since you haven't jumped out of those things, you're going to jump right back into it, and you're going to get back into the same relationship. And this is coming from experience, like, and so if you don't deal with those things, they're gonna keep continuing to come up. And that's how that's how the world works. That's how your spirit team, your angels, your ancestors, your guides, that's what they're there to help you through those patterns. You know what I'm saying? That we ultimately get ourselves into. So yes, take care of yourself. 3, forgive yourself. So it's be compassionate and question your thoughts and actions and feelings towards that person and towards yourself, right? So for me, it's hard. It was hard for me to be compassionate. I grew up with trauma. Like, saying that is feels risky, because nobody's gonna validate that for you. Nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, she had it hard growing up, or especially the people especially who it came from. They're not gonna validate your feelings. They're not. But you can, and you don't need permission from anybody to do that. So validate your feelings. So I'm gonna say it. Yes, I grew up with narcissism, with a narcissistic parent, and I didn't know my worth, and I didn't have that self-worth to back me up to be compassionate to myself. So there was always this voice until I had to really, like, nurture that hurt part of me. But there was always this voice that was like just super critical. And it wasn't my voice, it's the voice that had been built up from all the criticism I've gotten throughout the years, right? And it became my voice because it is my voice. So it doesn't even, it's like, if you've grown up with a narcissist or have had a narcissistic parent or narcissistic relationships, you realize you start doing that hurt and that pain that person is causing you, it starts to become like autopilot. Like you don't need them to be there to feel that criticism and to know that criticism, because you're doing it to yourself. But when you're healing, if you're healing from these relationships, take time to heal yourself. Take time to be compassionate. If you sit there and be like, bitch, I don't know why the fuck you still going through this, like, and this is you in your head and you're talking to yourself like that, and that's what happens, go back and be like, no, I'm so sorry. I'd be like, I'm so sorry, Angie. I don't mean to talk to you like that. And I would have fits where I'd be so angry with myself. I start hurting myself, honestly. And I've never told anybody that before. But I've had to get out of that. Like, I'm sweating now. Like, this is feels weird for me, but I've had to get out of that, and it comes by changing your inner conversation. So I'm a Gemini. I feel like I have a lot of voices in my head. So part of me would be like, yeah, that fun loving part, and that part that's creative and wants to do a lot of stuff. But that other part that's super critical, and not in a good way, that would just tear me down, and it I start to self-sabotage because of that voice, because that's the voice that's been the strongest, and that's the voice that I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying? So I've come to tame that voice, to be compassionate. And I've done so by questioning my emotions. Why do I feel the way that I do? You know what I'm saying? Toward myself, toward this person. Why, if this person was being wrong to me, why do I want to stay? Why do I not want to leave? Why did I not run the first time they did me wrong? You know what I'm saying? So I'm questioning my patterns, questioning my actions. And ultimately, it comes down to self-worth, right? And yes, this person is doing this thing to you, but you're allowing this person to do this thing to you at the end of the day. And it's not like you need to be mad at yourself. This is a part. This is the part of forgiveness that you need to understand. It's like, yes, you allowed this person to do this thing to you because you given up your power, but it's because you didn't consciously have that sense of self or self-worth to be like, no, this person can't do this to me anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what you need to work on to cultivate. And don't be mad at yourself for not having that. It happens because that is life circumstances. I've had low self-esteem for as long as I could remember, but I also have a will that's telling me to bounce back, right? So I'm able to heal. And so are you. You're able to heal because if you're listening to this, you want to heal. You want to forgive. You want to be better. So that will is there. You know what I'm saying? So don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Have that compassion. Be sweet with yourself. Just like you would be sweet with a friend that's gone through or that's breaking up with somebody that was terrible for them, or out of a situation or relationship that was terrible for them. You're not gonna want to harm that person. You're not going to want to be so hard on them. You're going to want them to heal, and you're going to want to be sweet with them. So be sweet with yourself, okay? Number 4, extract the lesson. So after processing and accepting the situation at face value, right? So yes, you're digging a little deeper, but at the end of the day, this person did you wrong, right? When you accept the situation as face value, come to terms with what you would have done differently and done the same, right? So when you process the whole situation, this comes after you process it. What is the lesson? What would you have done differently in that situation? What would you have done the same? Or how would you have asserted yourself a little bit more in that situation? You know what I'm saying? So extract the lesson. This is the whole purpose of you going through the thing. This is the whole purpose, is the lesson, right? You're not meant to be hurt. You're not meant to be in a hurt state. You're not meant to be down. You are worth more than that. You are worth more than that. Your purpose is to extract the lesson and grow from it. This is your journey. This is your life, and you're here to learn from your life. So learn. Don't come down on yourself even more. Trust, I've done it so many times. Okay, number 5. This is the forgiveness part of your enemy, right? So this whole process had nothing to do with them and what that person has done to you, right? The whole process has to do with you. And the last part, it says, forgive your enemy by understanding we are all human with faults, right? So now that you have accepted the situation, it is time to let go of the hurt and the anger toward that person for the sake of your own healing. Remember the lesson and protect yourself if you need to. So let go, right? Do not stay angry with this person. Do not stay angry with yourself. Let it go. Do not ruminate over this situation. Ruminate meaning playing it over and over again. This is once you've processed, right? Do not do that, because you need to move forward. And you taking this hurt and holding on to it like that is going to make you jaded. So the next time you go into other situations or other relationships that might be perfect for you, it might be what's right for you at this point, you are not going to be able to let go of the old, right? You're not going to be able to let go of what that person has done to you. And so that you're not going to be able to enjoy the new experience that is for you, that's for your good, rather than the hurt. So don't get used to that hurt, because I feel like sometimes when we process stuff and we've taken the time to process, we're so used to those feelings of hurt and like, yeah, this person, and accepting that this person did this to me and this and that we get in the habit of just holding on to it. Don't hold on to it. Let it go, because that's not your story. The hurt and the pain is not your story. Your story is that you've overcome. Your story is that you've gone into something new. Your story is that you are becoming a greater person, a more wise person through your experiences. That's your story. Not that this person has hurt you, or that you always get into these situations of you know more about narcissism, you know more about getting into bad situations, but that's not your gold badge. And I know so many people who wear their trauma and their hurt as like a golden ticket to get people's sympathy, rather than using their strength to get people's respect. You know what I'm saying? Or to get their own respect. It's not. It's self-empowerment. You know what I'm saying? You holding on to the trauma is not empowering. That's creating a victim mentality, right? Once you've processed it. And I hate that term, victim mentality, because everybody's at different stages in their healing. So if they're at if they feel like a victim in that stage, then that's where they are. But at some point we need to come out of it, because you're not the victim. You might have been a victim in that situation, but that's not who you are. So don't hold on to that. Don't hold on to that victim mentality. It might have been what happened in the moment, but that you're not nobody's victim. You're nobody's victim. Okay? So don't hold on to that. And yes, forgive that person, and like you're doing them a favor you're doing yourself a favor by forgiving them, because you can even, you forgive them. You don't have to forget what was done to you, and don't forget what was done to you, because you've already extracted the lesson. You're not going to forget what was done to you. You've extracted the lesson. You're going to use that to the next, towards the next situation. But you're going to forgive them. Forgive them for your sake, for your peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. You're stronger because of it. You're stronger because of it. You don't even need to allow them back into your life. Actually, if they've hurt you, like if this hurt that you can get over, then that's fine. You can probably allow them back into your life once you've healed. But if you want to, if that's a person that needs to be there, and that's fine. Like, somebody close to you. But if they don't deserve to be in your life, but you've forgiven them, that's fine. They don't have to come back into your life. Just know that forgiveness was for you and for your peace of mind, So, love yourself. Forgive other people. It's your world. It's your journey. So live your life the way you want to live. And as you process, you're going to realize you're going to be more aware of your choices, and you're going to make choices that are more geared towards your happiness and towards a life that you want to live.